Hey folks, I'm at Matt's garage. He's out of town. Told him I'd help him out a little bit. He didn't really know what I'm gonna do exactly, but he left me a bunch of parts. We're gonna try to do some stuff for him, make him happy when he gets back. Anyway, that's the goal. Probably gonna recruit some friends here in a couple nights and try to get some stuff done for him. First thing I'm gonna work on today, wiring. He left some ton of piles of parts here, so I've been sifting through the wiring stuff. He got this awesome distribution block. Check that thing out. It's like totally cool. It's got little lugs on there for little wires and then the big lugs. That's gonna be like a huge help because the wiring on this thing is already done, but it was plumbed for a front mount battery, right? So the battery was normally in the engine compartment. So now the battery's in the back. So we gotta extend the wires from there up. Well, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna help out like a ton, and looks like it's some like super good quality. So that's a huge, huge plus. So I've been dinkering with it, listening to the basketball game. The Vols lost to Kentucky. Kind of sad about that, but that'll be all right. We'll get over that. But he got me a negative and a power one of these. I say he got him, but still pretty nice, man. It's like heavy. It's like super nice quality. So I like to see quality stuff. I don't know where you got it. Probably come from China either way. So also, we got a box in the mail. Check this out. What do you think it is? I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but it says Adams Driveline on it. So I'm gonna assume it's a rear drive shaft. So don't know if we'll get to that today. My goal today is to do as much wiring as I can. The thing's already wired. All I gotta do is just finish up some wires. An LS motor only has a handful of wires to hook up, you know, other than from the computer to the electronics. There's a ton of wires there, but to actually make the computer and the engine run, it's only like 5 wires. So I'm gonna work on all those, try to get the alternator hooked up, battery hooked up, all the main power wires. So I'm super stoked. Hopefully I can get a lot done before he gets back, and he'll be like super ecstatic and happy, and relieve the stress off him a little bit because he's had a lot of stress. I know y'all can't see it, but there's stuff everywhere around here. So there's seats and springs and transmissions and oil coolers and tranny coolers and brakes. I mean, there's so much stuff here. He's got a limited amount of time. I'm gonna try to help him out. See what we can get done. All right. Let's go. Look at this. Check this out. Added the negative distribution block right here. It's only got one engine ground and the computer ground that there is. There's only one body ground that I can find, and it might be because it's on a Cherokee frame. It doesn't have rubber body mounts. It's all in one. There may not be that many grounds on this thing like normal. But either way, there's the power distribution block. The one that's open will come from the battery. I'm not sure exactly how Matt wants to do it yet, but I imagine it'll go through the kill switch in the cab and then to there. And then on that same lug, he'll probably run the winch cable off of it, or the winch cable might actually go all the way back to the battery. So whatever he wants to do there. But since this is an LS, has a standalone wiring system. Here's the fuse panel for it, if you want to call it that, the data link connector, and the fuel pump relays just behind that. And then there's the computer. So I got the computer mounted. I was debating on how to mount it, if I wanted it level or flat, or level or crooked. And I went for crooked just because of ease of getting to the spark plugs. If it was straight up and down, it was going to make it a lot harder to get in there if you needed to. So everything's going real well. Got a lot wired up. Super happy about all that. The main Comanche wiring harness is working out really well too. I got it all hooked up. The main power, all those green wires right there are all from the Comanche. And then this black wire here is all from the computer. So it's all working out really well. And then that other black wire there goes down to the starter. This big loom right here is the Comanche. That's all the factory harness there that ran all the main power, and it had the starter cables, or the battery cables and starter cables and all that in there. So it's actually ran like great. It's ran right over to where the starter is, the computer is, everything's great there. And then on the other side, the other part of the body harness runs the headlights, turn signals, and all that runs right through there. And then the way it's divided out is all this stuff right here in the middle is everything for the engine. I'm gonna let Matt dissect all that, all those wires out, but it worked out really well. So there's just gonna be one factory loop around, up and over and that's going to be great. So also, while doing this, I have figured out that some things in Matt's garage I didn't know where they were, like the electrical terminals, which is pretty funny. Took me like freaking 5 minutes to find the electrical terminals, but everything went well. And then about an hour after being here, I found out something really funny. I don't know if he did this for me or if he was doing some other video or not. I don't really know, but he made a map. It's pretty hilarious, as if I didn't know what O2 sensors were and they needed to be part of the exhaust. But he labeled everything: fuel, brakes, even got a smiley face on the brakes. Look at that. This says MJ, XJ on brakes there. Everything's labeled. It's pretty hilarious. He's got wheel bearings, hubs, CJ parts, stock Jeep bolts, radiator. The radiator came from Novak. I can't wait to get it out of the box and check it out. I believe it has electric fans and everything mounted in it, so it's probably going to be a pretty awesome piece. Intake pieces, stuff, you know, we definitely need to know that. Mess right there. So trans. And as I walked around, I just keep finding these little things. He must have like spent an hour making all these, but more mess, you know, extra pump. And it goes all the way back to the back of the shop, which is pretty hilarious. And I was reaching up a minute ago to get a pair of gloves. I was doing some welding for the mount. And even labeled where the dang gloves are, like if I couldn't figure that out already. So, and I say he made me a map. Y'all can't really see it right here, but he literally gave me instructions and a whole list of stuff. I have a feeling he's hoping that I'll have this thing built by the time he gets back, judging by all these signs and instructions he's gave me. You know, miscellaneous wire, everything. So, but going well. So I'm about to call it a night. It's almost 9 o'clock here. And I'm not sure what else to do right now. I may start trying to fit the radiator or something. Not sure. I could always put the drive shaft in, but holy, check this out. Look at this thing. Like I said, I was debating on what I needed to do, and I was just messing around with some small stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna go and open the radiator and see how it fits, or what we gotta do to make it fit. Holy beef. Look at that thing. It's like these little flaps, I guess, when you drive down the road, it builds up and I guess blows through where you have too much air when you're cruising down the road. That thing is freaking so sexy. Look at the quality. Like, I've never seen anything like that. What's this one? Look how big the motor is on this one. It's like a tornado on the end down here. It's intense. Holy cow. It is so freaking heavy, it's not even funny for a radiator. It is badass. Look at that. That is straight beef. Okay, here's a little bit of what I'm doing. You can see how that positive lug worked out fantastic. Got the big red cable running back to the battery. It goes up and over and back down, if you can see there. Goes down on top of the transmission, and there's the negative one doing its thing. One goes to the battery, one goes to the engine block right now, and the other one runs the computer. So it's going back, and then I'll show you what I was talking about when you have to do it on the vehicle, when you have to get a little creative. So like the negative, I ran it to figure out what length I needed, and being kind of lazy, don't want to pull it all the way back out, so I'm going to do it right here on the vehicle. The red one's completely done, and I'm doing the other side of the red going to the switch here on the inside. So that one runs from the distribution block back, this one runs for the battery, and you can see what I've done here to hold my lead. So that ain't in there, it's just sitting in there. And then I'll solder this just like this and boom, let it cure and put the heat shrink on it, and it'll be just as good as doing it on the vise. And you got to get kind of creative when you're doing them in the vehicle. Sometimes you don't have a whole lot of room, different things, but especially if you can recruit a friend to help you, it's not that bad. And this is just a little idea of what you can do to get them taken care of. So you can see the battery right there. Those are the terminals I was talking about. That kind right there has a little nut on top. So you can get the terminal really tight on the battery, tight enough you can't make it loose, but that wing nut, you can get it really tight, and then if you grab the cable, you can just twist it and it'll just pop right loose if you need to. And be really rare, but say you had an issue with something, you would traditionally just turn off your master switch, but some of you don't have a master switch, so